Hey, it's Ethan here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Malone Downloader J-Style Kayak Carrier and how it fits on our 2022 Lincoln Navigator. Going to be focusing specifically on how this carrier works with this car. If you want more details, pictures, videos, anything that you miss here, check out the full review at etrailer.com about this carrier. Let's check out how it works. It is a J-Style carrier, like I mentioned, which basically just means it has that shape. It has this front that holds the kayak in place, as well as the back of the mount, keeping everything secure. It does also support up to 75 pounds. It only holds one kayak up to that amount, so it'll get you that where you need it to go. It comes with these two straps in the middle, and it does come with these bow and stern ropes that have this J hook on them as well. These aren't my favorite. For the back, they might be fine because we do have a hitch and it has the safety hoops that we can fit this into, but we still have to tie our own knot. For the front, I definitely would recommend some other kind of straps. We went ahead and used the eTrailer strap kit because they do have those built in, or they're not built in, but they come with it, the adapters, dog bone adapters that we can fit under the hood and keep them secure. I will say the Malone straps do have that adapter available as well, but if you're picking up a couple of extra straps, these come with it, so I would recommend just picking up the whole kit. To get the kayak removed, we'll first have to start with the bow and stern straps, which is a good time to show you what that dog bone adapter looks like. If you're unfamiliar, it just rests inside your hood or in your hatch, and it's really nice and padded so it won't damage anything in there. We can just start removing that by fitting it through the opening on our strap, pulling the excess away. And we can come open the door up now because we'll have to get up to the kayak where this point is. We can either remove the excess from the buckle first, which I'll actually do in this case, and just slide that through. Now we can come up to the top here and undo this mount on where we're holding the kayak securely and pull the excess through. And we'll repeat the process on the back side. We'll just open up the hatch just a little bit, get our adapter out, feed it through to get the adapter off again, and then we'll go up to the top where we have it mounted into our kayak. I'll just step on the back here, and we can either undo this first, which I'll do in my case, or you can try to wiggle it through. Just pull out that excess, and then I will come up to the top, pull that through, and we'll get this off, and then we can move on to our straps in the middle. In the middle we have these cam buckle straps similar to the ones we had before. On the back side you can see that there is this felt-like strip to protect your kayak from the buckle in the event that it does make contact. When you're setting it up, you can kind of pick and choose where you leave that buckle. So typically it wouldn't be making contact, but if it does, it's nice that it's there to protect it. We'll just undo the strap. I think we might be a little bit stuck on the back, so we'll try to get a little bit of leverage. Maybe pull the other side up and down just to get a little bit of that leeway. There we go. And now we'll pull the rest of that excess through. And we'll repeat the process for this other strap. Same thing. Start by releasing the excess from the buckle. We went around the towers in this case, and then we can pull the rest through. And now we can get the kayak off. Before we get the kayak off, I just want to point out one thing that does set this carrier apart. You'll see that there are these openings here. That is for the lift assist system. It doesn't come with the carrier, but you can purchase it separately if you need a little bit of help loading the kayak or unloading it, because this J-Style is pretty aggressive and these ramps do go up pretty far. So I can't actually get it off by myself. Maybe could, but it'd be pretty difficult. So I recruited my friend Aiden here to help me get the kayak up and off. So we just lift it and lower it down. Like I said, it could definitely be possible by yourself, but definitely be a little bit difficult. So if you have an extra set of hands, I'd recommend picking somebody up to help out. With the kayak removed, we can take a closer look at the carrier. Now we see that there is this assist system here in the front. It works with the lift assist that I mentioned, but it also works as a ramp, just a place for you to keep the kayak for a little bit while you adjust and push it all the way up. On the cradles themselves, we can see that there is a padding here. It's not the best in my opinion. It's sort of a little bit firm still, and the screws interact with it, so they tend to pop up a little bit, and that might interfere with your kayak just a little, but I think they'll do the job and they'll protect it and keep it from moving around too much. In addition to that, there is this padding that goes around the hoop, and this is a nice feature up at the top. It's a place for you to keep your straps, so when you're loading them over your kayak, a lot of carriers, the straps tend to slide down a little bit while you're trying to get them over, so if you have something to keep them up there, that can be helpful. Down here you'll see this lever which releases the carrier, which allows it to adjust certain positions if you need a little bit more space. And it also allows for the carrier to fold all the way down. We'll just secure that back in place. You can see that height-wise, that saves us a ton of space, creates a more low profile, and it'll cut down on some of that wind noise while you're driving. We have our carrier on the overhang of our crossbars a little bit, just to make loading and unloading a little bit easier. But on our 59-inch crossbars, you can see we still have a ton of space available. So if we want to get another kayak up here, we definitely could. If we want to get maybe a roof box, roof basket, maybe a ski and snowboard carrier, whatever we need, we have plenty of room to get it on. In this folded down position, like I mentioned, we do create a more low profile, but I'll measure it so that you can have an idea of how tall it sits. So from the top of the crossbars to the top of the carrier, it's about 4.5 inches. So that would be the highest point right here. In the case of it in one of the taller positions where we had our kayak loaded up from the crossbars, or from the top of the crossbars to the top of the carrier, it's closer to 18 inches. So we definitely, again, save a ton of space that way. The carrier is made of aluminum, so it's lightweight, but it's still durable, it'll still hold up. So it's easy to take off and put back on, but the clamp system isn't one of my favorites. It's nice that it's tool-free. You basically just have this plate here at the bottom and these two knobs. It's just metal though, there's no padding on it, so after repeated use, I imagine it'll start to scrape up your crossbars. In the case of our crossbars, we do have these arrow shapes, but they'll work with your round, square, or factory crossbars as well. And it is, again, tool-free, but not my favorite. It has all those moving parts. Overall, the Malone Downloader is a really solid value option if you want to get one kayak up to 75 pounds where you want it to go. I do like that it has that lift assist system that is possible to add to it if you need a little help loading and unloading your kayak, as well as the fact that it folds down to save space, and the strap on the top is a nice little bonus feature. I will say if you don't need the lift assist system and you want something that looks a little bit sleeker and has a little bit of a lower profile, I would maybe check out the Kayak Class 4 V2. It has the same weight capacity, but it comes in black and gray, and it just looks a little bit nicer in my opinion. But if you want, again, that value option that's going to let you get that kayak where you need it to go, and you have that potential add-on if you need a little bit of help accessibility-wise, this is still a great option. This is just a look at the Malone Downloader and how it works on their 2022 Lincoln Navigator.